I want to welcome everyone to this week's Wednesday Word of Encouragement. The word of encouragement this week is kind of a follow up on a couple of weeks ago when we were able to go by the relief center for the hurricane in the mountains of western North Carolina. And this past Sunday, I shared a message that just talked about those that are willing to serve. You can't say you can't do it because God has gifted us and called us to be of service. This past Monday, Linda and I had a chance to ride to the western part of the state, go back to that same relief center run by Emerge for Unity up there in Black Mountain, North Carolina. And we were delivering some gifts from a group down our way. When I arrived, I had been given directions to go into the kitchen area and find out who was in charge this week and let them know what we had brought. And when I did that, the lady that I was talking with, she just smiled and she said, we ran out of this when we were packing our meals this morning, and we weren't able to complete all of our meals with this item. And you're the second person that's come out of nowhere this morning and brought us what we needed for the dinner plates. And what we had brought up there were cake slices that were left over from a benefit for a cancer victim down here in our neck of the woods. And those things just don't happen. God just opens the way into his presence to witness, experience, and know his miraculous care. And so that event just confirms once again for us, I think, one of the Proverbs chapter 18, verse 16. It says this: a gift opens the way for the giver and ushers him into the presence of the great. I don't know about you, but when I first hear that verse, I said, that almost sounds like we should bribe people to move our way up the ladder of who we can see and be with. But we know God doesn't want us acting that way, deceitfully. And we know that we are to be cheerful givers. We are to be open and generous givers. And what if we look at this Proverbs in the way that it's not a bribe to get us where we want to go climbing the ladder, but what if it's telling us that if we live a life of giving, whether it's financially, whether it's materially, whether it's our time or our talents or our heart, that it ushers us into the presence of the great, one and only true God. And in his presence, we experience those mighty works of his. So I want to encourage you this week to continue to give and help those in need around you or who God leads you to. Because when we are cheerful givers, when we are generous givers, when we give from the heart, it ushers us into the presence of the great, one and only true God. Be encouraged and give.